Chapter 62. I've never felt souls that fill me with such abject dread as the creatures from Vigor. I've felt souls that I know are dangerous plenty of times. Large souls, painful souls, deadly souls, ugly souls. I've looked at the core of a person and felt disgust, revulsion, or outright hate. But not dread. Not fear. Yet at the core of whatever I am, some instinct knows I should fear these monsters. Their souls are like a void. Many of them are just a void, a blackness so dense and so hungry that there is nothing else to their being at all. The void consumes, the void grows. Nothing but mindless automatons of hunger, with a core so dense and so dark that I'm terrified even looking too deeply into it could get me sucked inside, never to return. The monster known as Lark is also a void, horrible and starving. Yet orbiting around the inexorable pull of that perfectly dark sphere are other shards, bits of souls deformed and broken that act like a rotating shield between the creature's mind and its all-consuming hunger. Like leaves caught up in a whirlwind, they spin around and around, moving too fast for gravity to take them and pull them in. I recognize some of the bits and pieces from the parts Fulvia's soul is missing, jagged fragments of personhood mal-shapen and distorted by their transfer from human to monster. Now part of the beast's soul, I feel them slowly growing on their own, though into what I have no way of knowing and no desire to find out. This thing was born, what, a couple months ago. Yet it's already powerful enough to put me on edge. I bet Penta would have been all for Xiang's little offer. It's a monster that's a person, same as us. I get the idea behind it, too. If we can capture Lark alive, we can learn how these Haveric monsters tick and how best to kill them. Skyhope needs that advantage if these things aren't going to slow down their growth. Penta's not here though, and I want this soul mutilator dead. Every part of my being screams to kill it or run. I'm going to kill it. The tiny freak dodges 4 different weapon swings before tearing into Bentley's hamstring, pulling out a small fragment of soul alongside the flesh and swallowing them together. In the same motion webs shoot out from its fingers, latching between us and restricting our limbs. Orville people nails a bowshot in one of the monster's arms as Xiang draws a liquid-coated knife and cuts the rest of us free, webs hissing with every stroke of their blade. Fucking focus. Xiang snaps at us, tossing a dart with her free hand to force the monster back. Damn it, they are not wrong. I swallow my revulsion, shifting to position myself behind Nora to help her cover Penelope while she heals Bentley. We're already on the back foot after letting this thing draw first blood. We need to take the momentum. Thankfully, we luck out and the monster makes a dive towards Nora, trying to bite right through the armor around her knee. A loud clang rings out as its horrible maw collides with her talent, the monster recoiling in pain and surprise as the teeth fail to penetrate. Nora and I each jab from a different side while I also reach a couple tentacles out to grab its horrifying soul. It twists its head with startling speed, teeth snapping around my tentacle and biting it off. I scream, pain flowering through my soul. Vita. Penelope fumes. Don't you dare get hurt yet, I'm not done with Bentley. I'm fine. I snarl back, watching as the monster tries to swallow part of my being. Without flesh or a soul core to stabilize it, however, the tendril tip just phases through the beast's mouth, quickly disintegrating into nothing. How did it even bite me in the first place? Lark is already jumping back, dodging another arrow from Orville while pulling the first out of its shoulder. Black blood splatters out of the wound, and as it twists to fire webs again Xiang catches it in the rib with a dart. The horrible little thing snarls in pain, immediately twisting and fleeing into the brush, out of sight. It's way faster than all of us, except possibly for Xiang, but they decline to chase it down alone. It's in full retreat, I report between clenched teeth. What the fuck was that? Xiang snaps, turning on us. I thought you were a team of hunters, but you got caught like kids with your pants down. What happened to teamwork? Where was your formation? Your strategy? Bentley, you didn't even fucking swing at it. But. She's a little girl. Bentley protests, still on one knee as Penelope finishes healing his leg. We hunt monsters, right? That was a person. We talked to her. Yes, Bentley, Xiang sighs. You're right. We hunt monsters, and that was a person. But it's a monster, too. You can be both, and eating other people alive is a damn sure way of accomplishing it. If you think you're never going to have to cut something that walks on two legs and can say hello, then quit. The rest of you. Penelope, why the fuck did we not have support spells on us before that thing ever moved? You had more than enough time to get your ass casting. I was trying to kill it, Penelope growls. It seems to be resistant to just about every disease I can conceive, however. Well then you give up 10 minutes ago and you start casting goddamn support magic because that is your job. We're not here so you can get off on your power trip fetish. Nora, you are too fucking slow. Good block on its second pass, but you need to be blocking everything. We're only fighting one target, you have no excuse. Vita, don't scream like a little girl in combat. It's a waste of breath and you'll distract your allies. I shouldn't even have to tell you that. Orville. They glance up at our archer. Good shot. Orville nods back, stoic on the outside but with pride and smugness radiating out of his soul. Are you done throwing out insults in the middle of the mission? Penelope snaps. No, Xiang hisses. But experience tells me it's better to not give idiots more than one thing to try and learn at a time. Vita, did my poison finish it off? I shake my head, swallowing anger and shame. Xiang is making me feel like the girl that just walked into the guild hall again. It's easy to see why they and Remus are friends. Doesn't feel like it. I think it was hurting for a while there, but it stopped for a moment to eat something and now it's fine. Shit, Xiang curses. The report said fast healing, but that's real fucking fast if it shrugged off a poison like that. Do you think the healing is tied to eating? Definitely is, I confirm. I'm sure of it. Okay then, Xiang nods. That's bad. So what's our plan? Don't you already have one, oh great and wise leader? Penelope mocks. Yes, I do. But if you want to live to be half my age you need to start thinking all by yourself. Quit relying on your talents and rely on your head. The forest isn't going to keep rolling over and letting you kill it. We're not trainees, Xiang, Penelope seethes, standing up after finishing with Bentley's leg. We're not verbal punching bags for you to stroke your ego on. Vita and I have saved your life and you haven't done the reverse. Do not act like you've earned the right to insult us. The short, venomous hunter shakes her head. I don't need your permission, Third Lady. I will do anything I have to in order to keep you and your team alive. If that includes hurting your feelings, then too fucking bad. Now plan. We all do as they say, shutting up to think for a moment. Bentley is actually the first person to speak up. I think we should just find the person we're supposed to save and get out of here. She's our primary objective anyway, right? No, I protest immediately. We can't let that thing live or it'll be even harder to deal with the next time. It grows way too fast. Pot calling the kettle black, Orville murmurs. I shoot him a glare and he shrugs. Bentley may actually have a point, even if it's entirely unintentional on his part, Penelope comments. I agree we need to kill or capture that little creature, but we should secure Claretta first. The prior team noted that the monster grabbed her and ran once it thought it could no longer win, and that's our worst-case scenario. With Claretta secured, it's either forced to fight us or flee without her, both of which are preferable to what happened last time. Do we know where Claretta is? Xiang asks. I'm not sensing anybody right now, but I'd bet she's that way, I say, pointing. There are a ton of captured monsters around that are alive but stuck in webs. They are thickest in a sort of semicircle shape, which I'm going to guess extends into a full circle outside my range. The closer to the center of the circle, the more the captured monsters thin out. I say we start by checking the middle. Plus, if we kill everything between here and there, the little horror won't have as much to heal off of. I think that's a good plan, Orville agrees, but we need to just admit we have no reliable way to put that thing down for good. We should aim for the head and kill it before it can heal if we can, but if it decides to run away, can any of us stop it? Not safely, Xiang concurs, nodding. But it needs to die, I insist. then aim to skewer it through the skull and don't miss, Orville answers, shrugging. First priority is rescue, though. Right? I say we grab our captured hunter and flee through the area we clear on the way there. If that lark thing moves to stop us, we kill it or fight it off. If it doesn't, whatever. We're just not equipped to go out of our way to chase after it, especially not on its own turf. I grit my teeth, wishing he wasn't so right. He is, though. My soul aches, wounded in a way nothing else I've ever encountered has managed. My tendrils extrude from my core, but thankfully aren't part of the core itself. I don't think I keep any vital parts of the soul in them. They're still me, though, and losing a part of myself has me both furious and terrified. The damn thing didn't even have the decency to swallow it. My tendril tip just dissolved into dusty soul stuff that I couldn't pick back up. Slowly but surely the injured tentacle heals, drawing power from my body and core to replenish itself. I don't want to get anywhere near that thing's mouth again, though, and I'd be an idiot to try and grab at its soul another time. I'm back to being a subpar spearwoman for my team, even if one that's significantly stronger and faster than the last time I was limited in this way. I wish I could just sick an army of revenants on the damn thing. Although I wonder how its bite would affect them. We move out, systematically killing and thereby letting me eat every monster from here to the center of Lark's territory. The little fucker doesn't seem to like it, making prodding attacks at us but never fully committing. What little non-soul damage it does is healed up by Penelope, and while the soul damage will stack up eventually, the little monster only breaks off tiny bits of core with each bite. My team should be okay for a while. Unfortunately, we have just as much trouble. What little damage we do it heals by running well outside our range and snacking on one of the meals we simply don't have the time or stamina to get to first. The damn thing is just built for speed, and even Xiang struggles to get a killing blow without their poisons working fast enough. It's looking like a solid stalemate, though that means we should be able to at least rescue Claretta and get out of here. It's not enough, though. I do not like having an intelligent, soul-damaging monster running around. That just sounds like exactly the sort of thing that will bite me in the ass down the line. Perhaps literally. Our progress is slow, with endless webs, rock traps, log traps, pit traps, and countless other annoyances in our way that are certainly dangerous but not difficult to spot when we're looking for them. This lark is clearly used to fighting animals, not people as smart as it is. Or she is, as the case may be. My senses don't get an impression one way or the other about it, which is something I've started to notice I do pick up on sometimes. Not always, though. I'm not sure why. Still, with the horrible little gremlin running around naked everywhere, the biology of the matter is clearly on display. A hungry little girl, huh? I'd definitely sympathize if it wasn't trying to kill me. Or if it didn't have an uncomfortably high chance of succeeding. Eventually, however, I feel our goal on my senses and things quickly start to get more exciting. Primary target and range, I announce quietly. Lark seems to have scary good hearing, and we don't want it to know any more than it has to. The team nods in acknowledgement, tensing up. They're still a long way away, and the closer we get to this thing's home the more likely it is to get aggressive. We walk in a tight clump, Nora standing between the direction I point and the rest of us at all times. I keep my finger pointed at Lark, of course, a constant real-time update of the monster's position that also happens to make my hand and the rotating set of tentacles supporting it really damn tired. The pain pays off, though. It takes a risky rush at Orville to try and remove a limb so Penelope can't quickly heal it, and pays for the attempt. Xiang shoves a knife clear through the little bastard's throat, and it runs off absolutely gushing blood. That one's coated in an anticoagulant, Xiang hisses. Should fuck with its crazy healing rate, and I'm pretty sure I nailed a goddamn artery. If that doesn't finish it off, it's decapitation or nothing. Still moving, I report. Just ate something. Now it's running to eat something else. I dunno, I think it's going to live. It looks like it's clearing out a bunch of its food at once, at least. Watch her fucking damn it. Xiang seethes. Does it not need blood or something? She certainly is a lot of it, if not, Penelope comments wryly. All of the Heveric egg monsters are this durable, Orville realizes. We just don't notice because they fight to the death when injured instead of running off to heal up. But what if there are other intelligent ones? Or what if any of the ones that eat humans and survive end up intelligent? Shit, man, that sounds like a High Templar problem, Nora groans. Let's just get this done and live happily ever after, please? You picked the wrong fucking job for that, little lady, Xiang hisses. Little lady? You barely kiss my belly button, you old fart. Can we focus? I snap. Normally I'm fine with banter, but we could seriously die this time. My team shuts up and I continue leading them towards the human on my radar, not being attacked by the monster even a single time the rest of the way. I feel it off at the periphery of my senses, devouring endless hordes of trap monsters. At least Xiang seems to have hurt it pretty badly. Finally, we break through some bushes and spot our target. A young woman, probably somewhere in her 20s. She's blonde, freckled, and was probably at some point fairly tall back when she had all her limbs. The poor woman is webbed to the ground by a lake that makes up a majority of the clearing, flowers planted in colorful rows around where she rests. Are you Claretta? Xiang asks, stepping forward. We're here to save. Stop. The woman wheezes out. Webb's here. Can't see. We've got 15 seconds until I start to report, quickly cutting myself off. My attention is stolen by the monster suddenly accelerating way beyond the speed it had shown previously. Scratch that, contact. I bark, everyone peeling their eyes away from Claretta barely in time to see Lark blitz out of the brush, aiming right for Bentley's throat. Nora is there in a flash, putting her shield up only for Lark to grab the air and fly right past her and towards our healer. Webs. It is to be. My senses are crazy good now. I mean, my soul literally hatched into an eye, that has to count for something, right? But I can't see them at all. There's no time to think about it. I make a jab towards Lark a moment too late. Penelope puts up an arm to block and Lark just bites the hand clean off, clawing through her throat anyway. It happens in an instant. There's no time to process, panic, or scream. I ready a tentacle to catch Penelope's soul as I stab at the monster again, though it jumps away with a gleeful swallow. Our healer's remaining hand moves to stop the blood, but she's casting half as fast with half her fingers. I will my mouth to produce saliva, blowing spit in and arc around us, the drops beating on a few of the wire-like webs. There they are. The webs themselves seem invisible. How thin did she get them? I win, the tiny monster gloats, leaping around and laying out yet more of those damn threads. That one is the only one that heals. You'll all tire before I run out of food. I win. More humans for me. Claretta. Make sure the rest of them don't die. Claretta takes a deep breath, and starts to sing. No, Claretta, Lark growls. Not now. The one that's bleeding can die. The blood gushing from Penelope's neck starts to slow as her song continues regardless. Xiang pulls down their collar and starts spitting as well, cutting through any revealed wire webs with their acidic knife. Claretta, I said not now. Lark snaps. Claretta. We book it her way, Bentley scooping up Penelope as Claretta buys her the time to complete her own spell, fighting back against the multiple open arteries. How Penelope remained conscious with multiple gushing arteries, help or no, I'll have to ask later. For now we follow Xiang, forming a wedge through the traps to grab the brave hunter that's rescuing her own fucking rescuers. Claretta. Lark shrieks, almost desperately. Claretta, what are you doing? Stop. Stop. They are here to take you away. The monster dashes forward to intercept us, panic filling its features. It's so fucking fast. I whip a tentacle out to try and distract it, jabbing with my spear as the rest of my team turns to cut it. We land a few blows, bleeding the child horror. It leaps backwards. Claretta. Don't go with them. Claretta. Confusion and terror spread across the monster's face, and it hesitates. We waste no time capitalizing on that, landing more cuts. Stop stealing her. It begs us. Stop it. Claretta. Sing, sing, and sing some more. It's all the broken hunter does in response. Bentley scoops her up as well, won by a Mansorini charm as we turn and make a fighting retreat from the area. Element of surprise lost, the battle falls out of Lark's favor and into ours, wounds on her small body stacking up with very few nearby creatures to eat and heal from. Wailing and begging, her voice screaming raw, a monster cries as something she loves is taken away. Chapter 63 Claretta. Claretta. I scream as loudly as I can, barely choking the name out between sobs. My blood drips on the earth and I know I have to run, I have to go eat something or I'll die. But Claretta. They are taking my Claretta. They are taking her, and she's helping them, and I don't understand why. I don't understand any of it. Water pours from my eyes, just as it did for Claretta and the Fulvia so many times. Is this why? Is this what that meant? Is this how they felt? I don't understand. An arrow flies my way, stabbing through my belly. I have to go. I have to go. No, they have my Claretta. No, no, no. I'm barely even thinking when I turn and run, fleeing to my closest stored meal, hateful instincts pulling me to survival, to food. I have to heal, I have to go back and kill them all. I have to save Claretta. She's silly, and she doesn't understand that she's leaving me. Right? That has to be it. I tear into my meal, flashes of joy flowing through me as the gnawing hunger within is abated for a glorious instant with each bite. I ignore the feeling, the water running down my cheeks being so much more right for the circumstances. Over and over I and the humans repeat the dance, but my increasingly desperate and panicked attacks only leave me worse off with each engagement. I land hits, I know I do, but Claretta heals them. If I don't get her back soon, they'll be out of my territory and I won't have any trapped snacks to heal up with. My odds of saving her will just get worse and worse until she's gone forever. I can't let that happen, but I don't know how to stop it. It doesn't take long. Soon, they are beyond the reach of my webs and it only helps them move faster. I follow. I have to follow. What else can I do? I need to calm down and think. Think. I can't go ahead of them and make traps because I don't know where they're going. What else can I do? How else can I beat a bunch of humans? I don't know how much time passes, but I'm eventually given my answer. An island starts to pass overhead and I remember that humans have to sleep. These ones don't. They keep pressing on, knowing I'm following them. But they can't do that forever, right? Lots of creatures I've seen are like that. They eventually run out of energy well before I do. As long as I keep eating, I can keep going. Humans can't, though. There's a limit to how much food Claretta can eat at once. There's a limit to how long she can stay awake before she loses consciousness. The same should go for all humans, shouldn't it? It does. It has to. Otherwise, I'm doomed. I follow them. Night and day I keep on their trail, tracking them by sound and circling their position. They know I'm here, the Vigor can sense me from further than I can hear them. It doesn't matter, though. As long as I keep something between me and them they can't do anything about me. I will outlast them. Another day, and they start to slow down. Another day and I attack, prodding at their defenses and testing their strength. Half of them seem exhausted, but the other half are fine. The Siang, the Bentley, and the Vita still fight with the same vigor of the first day. Not the rest of them, however. I'll keep waiting, keep wearing them out. I'll get you back, Claretta. Finally, another day later, when the sky ground comes they finally stop. I grin, lying down to wait and rest myself. The island above is massive and the night will be long and dark. Let them get comfortable. Let them sleep. That's when I'll strike. I lie silently and pick my moment. I can't see them, only hear and smell them, and the sounds from their camp are quiet. I can only guess when the best time to attack is, but I am an experienced hunter and my guesses are very, very good. I move forward. Go away. Claretta suddenly shouts into the darkness. Don't get any closer. Claretta. I call out, breaking into a sprint. What are they doing to her? Is she okay? Fuck you, Lark. She shrieks. Get out of here. Leave us alone. Wait, me? I skid to a halt. Claretta? What? Leave. Go back to your fucking spider nest and dunk your own head in a lake for once. Just go. I don't know what it is that made me take a step backwards at those words. The raw, hoarse terror to her voice, perhaps. The Claretta I know is always calm, measured. She chooses her words carefully, always putting me at ease. She knows better than to do otherwise, which is why she's so much better than the Fulvia. She's smart. I barely understand tone anyway, and she knows that too. I'll always respond better when she is calm. This sound, though, this tone. It isn't calm in the slightest, and I absolutely do understand it. It's the same sort of scream I made when I begged her to come back. Claretta, I like you. I remind her desperately. We were going to do things together. Shut up. I don't care. Why would I care? You stupid fucking child. You hit me. Another step back. I'm terrified and I don't know why. I should just rush forward, kill the other humans and take her back, right? I was going to let you, Lark. Claretta seethes, an unbridled hate oozing through her words. You made me choose between torturing my friend and watching her die. People are going to come for you, and they are going to kill you, and there is nothing in the entire world I want more than that. I turn and start to run the other way. I hope they bring me your corpse, Claretta murmurs, but I don't deserve that kind of closure. I run and I don't stop. I don't understand. 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 I don't know how long I flee for. Days, maybe. At some point my terror shifts to anger, pushing me to follow my baser instincts. How dare she hate me? After I spared her, after I made her special to me. With these thoughts I tear my teeth into everything I come across, not bothering to go for limbs or consider my approach. I'm just a whirlwind of death and fury, ripping apart my prey like any other stupid member of my kin. Darkness forms in the day, dropping water on me like the sky itself is crying. I don't even know what I'm fighting when the rain falls. Rain. Claretta described it to me once, but I've never seen it before. Gloomy, dreary, and cold. A perfect mix for my battle with this five-legged buck thing? Why am I even trying to eat this? It looks gross. I don't want to look like that. I jump away, making distance until it stops chasing me. The anger is gone and nothing replaces it. What do I do now? Where do I go? Should I bother going anywhere? Where am I? There are no landmarks in the forest, not when every inch is covered with dense layers of bushes and trees. It's part of why I marked and webbed such a huge territory. The only other way for me to even tell what direction I'm going is to find a clearing and look up at the sky, orienting myself with the islands above. Those change, however, and after many days of whatever I was doing, I don't recognize any of the ones close enough to tell me what direction I'm pointing. Does it really matter, though? I have nowhere to go. I need to find water, I guess, if I want to live. Do I want to live? Do I want to do anything? Yes. I decide yes. I want to live. But what will I do? I've lost my Claretta, and she is the only Claretta there is. Not the only human, though, I suppose. Claretta was kind, Claretta taught me things, Claretta sang for me. Maybe there's another human like that as well. I don't know how to find any, though, so I just keep wandering. Ambling. Eating anything in my path that looks powerful or interesting. I have no plan other than to keep walking in the same direction until I find a human or something kills me. Or I walk off the edge of the island, I suppose. Claretta said we're on an island, too, just like the ones in the sky. More days pass like this, and I once again don't bother to keep track of how many. I suppose I could count them all if I wish. I don't forget things like the Fulvia did. I don't really want to think too hard about the past however many days, though. Not now, and probably never again. It hurts too much. It scares me too much, though what exactly scares me I'm still not sure. Eventually, however, my non-strategy lucks out and bears fruit. I find a human. Damn, a deep voice swears. It ran into the forest. To my left I hear a scuffling in the underbrush and quickly pounce on it, grabbing a small animal between my claws and pulling it into the light. Brown and fuzzy, the creature's long, floppy ears and powerful hind legs seem like decent enough traits, though the thing is so tiny and weak I suspect it spends more time running away than catching any prey regardless. Well. Fuck. I guess I'll catch it next time. Oh right, the human. That's a human voice. I found one. I quickly bind up my next meal and carry it under one arm as I scurry towards the sound. What were you trying to catch? I ask. I hear my quarry pause. I'm so happy to have found one. Either it's wonderful like the Claretta and I'll get to keep it, or it's not and I'll get to eat it. Hello? It asks. Is someone there? Yes, I confirm. I am here. My name is Lark. Hello. Miss. Lark? The human asks, confused. You sound way too young to be playing this far from town. You're going to get hurt if you do that. Come on out of the forest now. Yeah. Okay, I agree. Seems sensible enough. I do get hurt all the time. But what does it mean by out of the forest? Into a clearing, probably. There are patches of forest all over without the otherwise ever-present bushes and branches. Sometimes it's because of bodies of water, sometimes it's because of rocks, sometimes a huge monster recently smashed the area, and sometimes I'm not sure why the trees are gone at all. The areas are never particularly large, but they're welcome places to rest, collect oneself, and... My train of thought screeches to a halt as I push through the thick brush into... not a clearing. Or perhaps the ultimate clearing. I can see so far. There are so many things out in front of me I can't see the forest on the other side. There might not even be forest on the other side. It's too much at once. I've never seen this many new things at the same time since the day I was born. I have to. Oh, wait, the human is running away. Help. It screams, sprinting towards. I don't even know. The long, yellow grass? The odd square stones? The tiny creatures. No, the faraway creatures that I can barely make out moving between them? It doesn't matter, really. Quit running, I command, shooting webs out of my fingers and catching it in the back. With my other hand I shoot webs into the ground, anchoring my smaller body down to manage the weight difference before I tug. To my annoyance, I only manage to yank the human's cloak off. Right, the detachable skin thing that they do. Whatever, I just shoot more webs and grab it for real this time, pulling it back towards me. The human lands on its back with a heavy thud, and I quickly web it up before showing it the other animal I just caught. Question. What's this? The human is silent for a while, looking around in a wild panic for a few moments before hesitantly answering. A rabbit. Rabbit, I repeat, memorizing the word. Okay. Thanks. I sit down on the human's chest, biting off the first of the limbs on the rabbit. It screams in distress, which I'm used to ignoring by now, even with my sensitive hearing. It's a pretty normal reaction for my food. I web up its mouth a bit more. What are you? The human asks. What are you doing? I'm Lark, I say, slower this time so he can understand easier. I told you that already. And right now, I'm deciding whether to keep you or eat you. I bite off the rabbit's other leg, swallowing immediately. Not that big or tasty, but food is food and I kind of like how it looks. Like the catzels, but a bit deformed. And smaller, which is appealing somehow. I don't know, I just kind of like it even though I know larger creatures are more likely to fare well in combat. The human, meanwhile, seems to be thinking rapidly, its panicked mind coming to a decision that would define the rest of its life. It takes a deep breath, and bellows as loud as it can. Monster attack. Sound the alarm. Monster attack. Sound the alarm. Hey, quit that, I grumble, getting up and kicking the loud human in the head. What is it even doing? Help. Monster attack. I said stop. Help. Help. Alarm. Please, somebody. The human's voice is already hoarse, each scream bellowed with the fullest extent of its lung capacity. Face red, body sweating, the terrified creature does. What? What is it doing? Surely it understands that annoying me will get it killed. I glance around, eyes catching on the faraway moving blobs. I'm still struggling to interpret what I'm seeing. I've never seen so far without looking up, and there's nothing to see when I look up except rocks. Yet I think those might be more humans? I think a bunch of them might be coming this way. People are going to come for you, and they are going to kill you, and there is nothing in the entire world I want more than that. Shit. I guess this human is choosing to be food. I web up its mouth, dragging it into the forest and out of sight. On a whim, I take the cloak, too. Maybe it's big enough to hide me. If not, it might at least be good for rain. I glance down at my prey, seeing water leaking from the human's eyes. Damn it. I hate when they do that. Chapter 64 Humans. Humans everywhere. It's terrifying. I don't think I'd normally be so worried. A bunch of humans came to investigate after I captured and ate that one who screamed. They never entered the forest, though, keeping a respectful, cautious distance from the trees. The trees are my domain, after all. None of them smelled that tough. If they had gotten closer, I'm sure I could have killed them all in the forest. Yet now I'm terrified, because I'm not in the forest anymore. The human lands have no trees to hide behind or hang webs from. Vast, flat, the tallest things are flimsy grasses and the structures humans themselves reside in. This is their domain. Here, their ability to attack from a distance goes from an incidental consideration to a constant looming threat. Any human that I can see could pull out a bow and shoot at me, even if I'm well out of range to retaliate. One arrow, I can dodge. But an arrow from each human? There must be at least tens of humans here. No, many times that number. Tens of tens? At some point, the structures get so numerous that I can't see past them anymore. Each and every one of them wants me dead. So why am I walking towards them? Tall wooden towers dwarf the landscape, the humans up top no doubt able to see me coming for ages as I walk down the dirt trail driven through the landscape towards their settlement. Yet no alarm is raised, none of them sparing me more than a passing glance. My lower arms clutch tightly to the inside of my stolen cloak, holding it closed. Hood up, I must look like a small human. I hope I do. That is the goal, after all. I walk past the towers, stone buildings looming ahead as countless humans walk around between them. What am I even going to do when I get there? Start eating them? I'd surely die. Behind the towers, on each side of the main path into town, smaller wooden structures are dotted around, humans sitting behind them and shouting at passers-by. Hardies to hear. Salted directly from the mines. Fabrics. Dyed or plain, any income catered. Treats for the little ones. Fresh, imported fruit. It feels like I don't understand half the words being shouted, but the further in I get the more humans surround me, heading to and from the stalls, exchanging little cotton chips for whatever thing the yelling humans seem to have in abundance. The whole process enraptures me, overwhelming me with questions as I watch these rituals I have no hope of understanding on my own. Oh, hey there, sweetie. Are you lost? A human approaches me. I jump backwards, a bit startled. Had they been talking to me? It's one of the big humans, as opposed to the humans that are more my size. This one is wearing a long, flowing piece of cloth that encompasses both of its legs rather than the individual per-leg cloths that the hunters all wore, which I find interesting. I stare at it a while, accidentally meeting the human's gaze as it kneels down. Oh, whoa. Are you okay? The human asks. What's that on your face? I reach a hand up, double-checking the integrity of the bandage-like webbing I wrapped myself in to hide my features. Only the tiniest slits are open for me to see and breathe out of. I had no idea if this would work, but I was right. It's not attacking me. Humans really don't attack things that they think are other humans. Even ones they don't know. Why not? That's so strange. I am okay, I insist, increasingly aware of every possible mistake that could expose me. You sure? The human asks. Where's your mom and dad? I don't have any idea what those are. I don't know, I murmur, heart pounding in my chest. Seriously, what possessed me to come here? What am I doing? Okay. The human hums back. Well, that's all right. Where was the last place you saw them, sweetie? I don't have any idea how to answer that, either, but the only place I could have ever saw anything is the direction I came from, right? I point back up the path, away from the human structures and towards the forest. The human's expression is as difficult for me to read as always. Oh, the human eventually murmurs. Oh, no. You poor thing. I'm so sorry. Alina. Another human calls, this one taller and deeper voiced. It has the leg-by-leg cloth, too. Hey, there you are. What are you doing over here? Elias. I think something happened to this girl's parents on the road here. What girl? The Elias asks. I, of course, have already slipped away, using other humans like trees to break line of sight the moment the Elias took the other human's attention off of me. There's simply too much I don't understand going on in that interaction. I'm afraid I'll slip something up and they'll realize I'm not really one of them. Frankly, having all these humans so close to me is already driving me into a panic. My ravenous instincts start bubbling to the surface, each new smell a new meal that the core of my being wants to consume. I can't though. Not in this place. So why am I even here? Quickly, I scurry off the road, away from the crowds of delicious creatures and behind the small structures with the humans that yell about whatever objects they have nearby. I'm sweating. The webs on my face are itchy, but if I scratch with my claws even a little, I'll break them, expose my face, and die. Even as is, a lot of humans glance at me as I pass, staring at the white webs that hide my dark body. I can only imagine what their expressions mean, but I doubt it's good. I need a more human fake skin. I need a better way to cover my face. Or I need to do what I should have done in the first place, and not walk into the middle of a bunch of angry meals. Yet I'm just too curious. I want to understand, to know. When I figure out how this human colony works, I'll be able to start eating them safely. There are other wooden structures out here, away from the dirt path but well before the cluster of stone structures that seem to be where most of the humans are. Humans sit behind these two, yelling out whatever they seem to want to give away, but far fewer people are moving around between the stalls away from the road. One place in particular catches my eye. 3 humans are there, a large and small one outside the wood structure and the one sitting behind it. As usual, small chitin discs are given to the one behind the stall for an item in return, which looks like an oddly shaped round piece of wood. It's when the wood is given to the smaller human and it covers its face with it that I start walking closer. A fake skin for the face. That's exactly what I need. I creep closer, waiting for 2 of the humans to leave before working up to the fake face acquisition structure with my hood pulled low. All sorts of odd knickknacks dot the stand alongside the wooden face covers, all of which are made of wood but none of which have a purpose I can divine. How best to take one? Hello there, little lady. The human in the structure exclaims. See something you like? I would like a face cover, please, I demand. Well, you're going to need some money for that. Money? Is that the word for the little chitin circles people have been giving to each other? Still, this human clearly hasn't thought of the obvious. I can just not give you any and take it anyway, I point out. It's an odd-looking human, even by human standards. Its face is wrinkled, its hair missing in all but its nose, ears, and thin patches on its head. It has an odd sort of thinness to its body, muscles tight over a frame that doesn't quite fit. Still, the human doesn't smell weak. I suspect it would make a wonderful meal. You probably could, the human agrees, lips quirking in an odd way I can't place. I'm not too fast these days. But if you do that, you can bet I'm going to track down your parents and tell them all about it. I look up at the human, forgetting to keep my hood down for a moment as I point towards the forest. If I have parents, they are a long way that way. Its expression drops, face softening considerably. The human takes in my wrapped-up face and hands in silence for a moment before answering. "What's your name?" it asks. "Lark," I answer immediately. "Lark, are you alone? Do you have a family?" "I'm alone," I agree, not understanding the word family well enough to answer. "Why do you want a festival mask?" "To cover my face with," I say, a bit confused by this line of questioning. "I'm going to take one now." "It's nice to meet you, Lark," the human tells me. "My name is August. You know, Lark, it takes me a long time to carve these masks." "Okay?" I'm not sure what the August is on about, so I just start looking around for an easy mask to grab. I'm very short, and the wood structure is made for taller humans. If you spend a long time making something, getting all the details right, putting your love into it, and someone just came one day and took it away without giving you anything in return, how would you feel? I stop. My home. My nest. My Claretta. Bad, I answer. Well, I would also feel bad if someone took a mask from me. Do you want me to feel bad, Lark? I'm reaching out to grab a mask, but something in the words makes me stop, my mind without any input from me imagining the August standing in the rain, screaming out for Claretta like I did back then. My hand drops back down to my side. The August can feel that way too, huh? I glower up at the wrinkly human. It's an interesting thought, I suppose, but of course I don't care. Why would I care? I eat people. I kill them. What happens to anyone else, how anyone else feels, is not my problem. Of course I'm going to take the stupid mask. Yet my hand does not move back up to steal one. I don't have any money, I admit. But I need a mask. The August nods as if it expected this. Well, if you want to do some work for me, I think that would be a fair trade for the work I put into them. I would be happy with that. Would you be happy with that? Happier than just having the mask and being done with it. Still, I nod, slowly but firmly. Okay. What do you want me to do? It smiles, words warm and voice calm. Somehow, this human felt even more Claretta-like than Claretta when it spoke. First, how about you choose what mask you like best? I have a lot of varieties. I glance around. They are all just wood and weird patterns. I don't really get why they are different from each other. The August laughs, putting a hand over its chest like I'd wounded it there. You've hurt my inner artist, little Lark. My pride might struggle to recover from that. They are animal masks, see? For the festival. He grabs a few, holding them out to me. This one is a cat, this one is a bug. You see? What is this human talking about? It's just weirdly shaped wood. No. Wait, I kinda see it. Yeah, it's carved to look like the animals, just without the right colors or textures or movements. It's the shape. The cat one looks like a catsull, complete with ears that look like mine. I, of course, therefore do not at all want that mask. The whole point is to hide my features. The one that catches my eye is a wide-eyed mask with a funny faux beak. It looks like some kind of bird, which is perfect because I love birds. They can fly, just like I can in the song Claretta used to sing about me. I like this one best, I tell the August. Oh. The owl mask. Good choice. That's fitting for a lark. Huh? Oh, well. The lark and the owl. They are both birds, you know? That's what your name means. A lark is a kind of bird, beloved by people everywhere for its beauty and songs. Oh. Of course. Claretta was never singing about me in the first place. I grit my teeth, pulling the owl mask to my chest and squeezing it hard. Tears form in my eyes behind my webbing, and try as I might I can't will them away. So frustrating, so very, very frustrating. I can't control anything that's mine. Not even my own body. She never liked me. Lark? The August asks. Are you okay? I'm fine, I choke out, putting the mask on the way I saw the smaller human do it. Do I look less weird now? You look lovely, Lark, the human answers. It's a bit early to be wearing a festival mask, but I don't think anyone will mind. You shouldn't have to hide your face, though, if you don't want to. I want to, I assure it. The August just nods, and soon after starts to explain how I am to help it. The task seems easy and straightforward enough, even if it attracts more attention than I'd like. I agree. It's not like I have anything else to do. Festival masks. I call out, heart pounding as eyes turn my way. Cheaper when you buy in advance. Don't wait, get them today. Cloak clasped and mask secure, the humans have no way of knowing I'm not one of them. Apparently all the yelling helps the August get more people that do have money over to its stall, and that's all it needs as repayment. I'm not entirely sure I understand, but it's simple and I get to watch lots of humans without arousing suspicion. A few hours later an island starts to pass nearby, and the August starts to close its shop. I have performed your service, I intone at the human. So the mask is now mine, and you will not scream or cry when I leave with it. The August chuckles and shakes its head. The owl mask is yours. I promise to not scream or cry due to its absence. You are free to go, Lark. You've been a big help. The human looks at me, lips quirking upwards. Not a single shred of fear or tension is visible on its features. It's so different to anything I felt from Claretta. I don't have any response to its words, but nor do I leave. Lark, the August continues, do you have anywhere to stay tonight? I tense up, again faced with a question I don't know how to answer. The human starts talking again after my silence. I admit, I asked my customers about you, it says. I wanted to make sure no one was looking for a child your age. But they weren't. You're homeless, aren't you? I nod, slowly. My home was destroyed, I admit. And you don't have any parents. It's said like a statement. Well, I don't even know what parents are, so I'll wager the human is probably right on that. No, I agree. I don't. The human takes a deep breath, wearing one of the many human expressions I can't yet decipher. The fact that it's all wrinkly doesn't help either. I don't feel in danger, though, I just feel weighty. Like this decision the human is making is of great significance. If you wish, Lark, you're welcome to help me pack up and join me at my home tonight. We'll get you clean, get you food, get you a bed. Only if you want it. I don't take long to think about it. I probably should, but I don't. Everything feels wrong and out of control. Okay, I agree hesitantly. The human nods, lips quirking up once more. Mine too as well, not that the human can see underneath my new mask. I help the August pack things into the stand, the round parts of which apparently rotate to help it move anywhere the human wants to take it. I'm immediately fascinated as the human grabs the stand and starts to pull it along after itself. The August walks in the opposite direction to most of the other humans, moving further away from the stone buildings rather than towards or into them. We get closer and closer to the forest, in fact, eventually coming across a large structure at its edge, made of wood like the cart rather than stone like the buildings of the town. Leaving the cart stall structure by the side of the big structure, the two of us head inside. I can't help but look around and awe at the hinged entryway. The artificial cave within sectioned off into multiple areas, the vast array of structures inside that I've never, ever seen before. Well, Lark? The human asks. Welcome to my home. What do you think? I like it, I murmur, stepping slowly around and taking everything in. So enclosed, so many places to hang webs. It's neat. The things here are neat. It laughs again. Oh, how easily I could eat the human here. We're so far away from any others. It's a free meal. I'll definitely eat it. Later. Well, thank you. I made most everything myself, the house included. So, What would you like to eat? I have a few good vegetables from my garden, or, I ate already, I informed the August. It looks surprised, but nods in assent. How about a bath, then? I hesitate. Another word I don't know. Humans have so many of them. How should I respond? Well, I suppose if I agree I'll get to see what it actually is. Okay. I answer hesitantly. The human nods once more, setting off to do whatever it is a bath involves. Firstly, it's apparently drawing water from what looks like underground into a person-sized bucket in one of the enclosed rooms. Then it's making that water bubble a little and start having a bit of mist come out, which the August calls steam. Then it's, well, you first, Lark, the August says. Get on in. Getting in to the weird water which, as I approach, turns out to be warm. Hot, even. I poke at it. Definitely hot. Yet not painful. Slowly, I start to lift myself inside. Lark, wait. You should undress first. I freeze instantly, horror dawning on me. I have never seen a human without their fake skin on, at least not without taking it off the body myself. I just assumed I would never be in a situation where I would be expected to remove mine. What do? Do I just eat him? I should probably just be eating him anyway, right? What am I doing? Why am I here? Lark? The human asks slowly. I don't want to. I stammer, stepping away from the human and the bath. I'm not. Please don't ask me to take it off. A lot more fear than I had intended creeps into my voice, and the human picks up on it. No, not like this. Not one that talks to me. Not one that gives me things. I don't want to, Lark, the August says, slowly and calmly. He kneels down to my height. You don't have to. Ever. Okay? I'm sorry. I let out a deep breath, nodding slowly. What does the human think of me? What is that expression on its face? Sadness? I'm safe for now, though. No, wait, I was never in any danger. My lie is safe for now. I think you will feel better after you take a bath, the August continues. You don't have to, but I promise this is a safe place for you. How about this? I will leave and close the door. You can take a bath with your clothes on, or with your clothes off, or you cannot take a bath at all. I will wait outside this room and I will not go in as long as you are in here. And I will never, ever touch you unless you ask me to. I promise, Lark. You can leave at any time, for any reason. But as long as you are here, you are safe. I have no words to bring against that. I only nod again, watching as he leaves the room and closes the door. There are no windows here, only a glowing series of symbols on the ceiling give light. I'm alone, and no one will see me unless someone opens that door. It's safe here, and I am very, very itchy. I'm not going to just blindly trust that human, of course. I claw through the coverings that hide my hands, setting up webs around the room that I can take down and hide before leaving. Then, gratefully, I start to undress, dropping my cloak and ripping my bandage like webbing to shreds. It feels so good already, and I'm not even in whatever a bath is. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the human, like I did with Claretta. Maybe it's making me misunderstand on purpose, somehow. Maybe it'll come in here, maybe it'll see what I really am. Fine. If it does, it dies. I'm hungry anyway. I look forward to it. I get in the bath. The human never comes in. It feels nice. Chapter 65. Well, Nora announces loudly, fuck that whole mission 3 times up the ass. I glance up at her with a raised eyebrow. What? Skyhope is finally in sight, which more or less marks the end of our half-successful mission. Claretta sleeps fitfully on Bentley's shoulder and Penelope once again walks on her own, though her hand isn't yet fully regenerated. I'm just saying, that mission was fucking awful. We nearly died like 20 times and then we had to trudge for 3 days without sleep, and? Why no. So fuck it 3 times up the ass. Yeah, I mean, I get that, I answer. I just don't understand why you're using that phrase to complain when it's something you'd probably ask someone to do to you. Nora physically staggers, making a wheezing noise like I just socked her in the gut. Did I just get verbally annihilated by Vita? She chokes. What? I ask again, looking around in confusion. Damn, Nora, I don't even think she did it on purpose, Orville comments. How does that feel? Watcher's eyes, it doesn't end. She announces, starting to bellow out laughter. Mercy, mercy. She's got a point, Penelope chimes in. If you really hated the mission that much, Nora, you shouldn't be going out of your way to give it a good time. Stop. Nora begs, now laughing so hard she's barely able to breathe. Stop, I've already been killed. Penelope smirks and Bentley blushes. Xiang just glowers. I'm even more lost than I was before, torn between happiness that my team is happy and that creeping feeling that I'm somehow the butt of a joke I don't quite understand. Teenagers, Xiang hisses derisively. Stay focused, will you? The mission isn't over until we're back behind the walls. I don't sense anything remotely dangerous in my range, but I'm inclined to agree with them. It would be awfully embarrassing to die just outside our destination. It's happened before, even if not to us. My comment was just a thoughtless idea, the kind born from weeks of very, very little sleep. Everyone got pushed to their limits on this mission, and our escape from that soul-eating beast took a toll on everyone. Of course, as the scout, I didn't get to sleep much after the monster finally left us alone, either. I've barely gotten a couple hours of sleep a day, most of it during the day with light out and my teammates moving around and making noise. I'm running entirely on fumes and soul snacks at this point, and there's nothing I want more than to get back to the guild, grab Roscoe, and pass the fuck out for 3 days. We finally make it back inside Skyhope after getting scanned at the gate for Nora. There's a line today, but thankfully as hunters we get to skip it. The biomancer on duty is so fucking slow though. I can immediately tell there isn't a single person with a Nora, and I would have already dealt with it if there was. It's midday and the streets are bustling, though most people give us a wide berth considering that we all absolutely reek of rancid monster blood. I've probably collected more of that monster's insides on my armor than the damn thing actually has insides at any one given time. What is that creature, anyway? Another bioweapon? Or did something like that develop naturally on one of the other islands? From what I understand, that's entirely possible. Humanity is pretty much only alive because the worst monsters have no reason to prefer eating them over the prey in the deep forest. Once we make it back to the guild, the first stop is unfortunately not my bed, but the infirmary. It's a lot more full than the last time I was here, but we managed to find a bed on which to get Claretta situated and stable. Also new is the collection of blankets and dirty food plates that sit stuffed in a corner of the infirmary floor, in which a snoring young man rests. Penelope shakes her head with amusement, a rare grin blooming on her face as she walks over and presses a boot into his belly. Jeremy. She fake gasps. Have you made a nest in the infirmary? Horg. Who the fuck? Penelope? The young man starts to get up, Penelope immediately removing her foot and offering him her good hand instead. He takes it, his messy black hair and slightly gap-toothed grin giving him a boyish look. The guy's no slouch, though, possessing a decently sized soul that feels like a knot of tree roots thriving in damp soil. A woman fit to be queen, sent in my time of need. Jeremy announces, his voice half joyful and half dead-ass exhausted. Truly, the Watcher does care for us. Penelope finishes pulling him up, chuckling lightly. Don't flatter me too much, or I'll start to expect it. Have you left the infirmary at all since I departed? Pretty much no. It's been bad here. Almost everyone's been coming back injured if they come back at all. Then the branch leader officially got the Templars involved to help us, and now they're coming back injured too. Penelope scowls. Can't the Templars hire their own biomancers instead of mooching ours? Don't ask me, Jeremy shrugs. I just eat, sleep and heal. Don't have time to question stuff like that. I am so glad you're back, Penelope. Don't be too glad, Penelope mutters. I'll help where I can, but I have duties outside the Hunters Guild, you know. Who's this guy, Penelope? I ask. This is Jeremy, she answers. Jeremy, Vita. Didn't I tell you about him back before we left? I shrug. I dunno, I guess I kinda remember you talking about another biomancer? We brought back someone else that needs healing, but she's a healer herself, so maybe she can help when she wakes up. He grimaces. Normally I'd never ask a patient to work, but we're pretty damn desperate. Come on, Penelope, couldn't you have healed her on the way over? I did my best, she answers, raising her still regenerating hand. Each finger is barely past the first knuckle. Ooh, ouch, Jeremy winces. Right then, I guess. I'll get back to it. Fuck, what time is it? It's about 10 hours to Sky Canyon, Penelope answers. I'd take over for you, but I'm about to collapse as well. Well, alright, he relents, cracking his neck. Fuck it. I've been at this for weeks, another 10 hours isn't going to kill me. Good job surviving out there. Get some sleep. Gratefully, we move to follow his advice. I already have my armor half off by the time I get up to our room. I finish stripping it off, not giving a single shit how much the rest of me is also covered with muck and gore. I flop onto my bed, curl around my favorite stuffed crow, and pass blissfully into sleep. Waking up naturally, with no impending monster attack or other crisis to attend to, is a somewhat novel experience after the 2-week round trip where we rescued Claretta. I'm fairly certain Nora and Penelope fell asleep in here with me, but both of them are gone when I wake up. How long have I been out? I continue to lay motionless for a while, cuddling Roscoe and enjoying the simple comfort of a warm bed. I still feel exhausted, but I should get up. I bet my family is worried. I sigh, pulling myself out of bed. My stomach starts yelling at me, demanding we go to the mess hall first and then see my family. I have to admit, that's a good idea. I grope around exhaustedly for my armor and spear, hands coming up empty for each. What? They're gone. I groan in annoyance. Penelope or Nora probably took my stuff to get cleaned. I don't actually have any other outfits, though, other than the uncomfortably fancy ones Penelope got me. Meh, screw it. I'll head to the mess hall in my underthings. It's enough clothing to be technically decent. Speaking of Nora, she and the boys are also apparently in the mess hall, so I nab as much stew as I can carry and head their way, sitting down next to them. Oh, hey Vita. You're looking significantly less dressed than usual, Nora greets. Yeah, well, somebody took my armor, I grumble. Have you considered? I don't know, wearing something other than armor? Orville asks. I glower at him while I take a bite of stew, swallowing it immediately. No, I answer firmly. Vita is very diligent. Bentley observes. We took everyone's armor to get cleaned, Nora explains. It's not going to be ready for a few hours, probably. You're going to have to put something else on. I scowl, shoveling more food down my throat. I am not putting that dress on again, I insist. Okay, then just wear something else. If you keep wearing what you're wearing you're gonna flash sidey boob at somebody, Vita, which is a thing you actually kind of have, now, Nora says matter-of-factly. You're growing pretty fast, girl. You need to pay attention to that, or you'll be getting all kinds of attention that you don't want. I take another few bites. You wear this shit all the time, though, I point out. Vita, I like that kind of attention, Nora answers. You don't. Right? I glance up at my team. Bentley just looks a bit concerned for me and a bit confused, but Orville is very pointedly looking in a different direction and blushing. I begin to feel a blush of my own start to work its way across my face. Oh, I murmur quietly. Vita, you are an oblivious little dork, and I love that about you, but you're growing up, so you gotta start paying attention to other people a bit more. Okay? She flashes me a wry grin as I nod awkwardly, focusing my attention a bit further into my teammates' souls. Yep, people are uncomfortable, and I probably could have figured that out before ever sitting down if I'd been paying attention. Yet I hadn't thought to give them more than a passing glance. "You took my cloak away with my armor," I mumble. "That's the only other thing I wear. My other clothes had so many holes in them that somebody threw them away when I put them in the laundry." Nora sighs. "Of course. Orville, can you lend her an outfit or something?" "Why me?" the midge grumbles. Because Bentley and I are like twice her height? Any shirt I gave her would be a dress." Okay, fine," Orville grumbles. "Come on, Vita, we'll get you something." "Wait," I insist. "Let me get some more stew first. I don't care how incredibly embarrassed I am right now, I am not leaving without finishing my meal." I head back and refill my huge bowl, then return to chomp down on it as quickly as I can. Nora laughs. "Watch his eyes, Vita, it's no wonder your tits are growing so fast. All that food has to be going somewhere." "Nah," I grunt between bites. "It's probably Penelope." "And they're not that big, are they?" I feel like they're definitely not. I don't even really have breasts yet, I just have like little uncomfortable fat triangles poking out of my chest. They hurt and I hate them. I can't believe this is even a conversation we're having. I should have just stolen the cheapest thing I found in Penelope's dresser. Better to be ridiculed for wearing a dress than this. What about Penelope?" Bentley asks. "Oh, right," I begin. "Yeah, Penelope admitted before we left that she has been like, using her biomancy voodoo on my body to do stuff like this. Messing with my growth, making me conventionally attractive, whatever that means." No one responds. The table is utterly silent. Which, of course, is fine by me. I tear into my stew, happy to no longer be obligated to talk. "What the actual fuck?" Orville suddenly blurts. "Yeah, agreed?" Nora stammers. "Like, I don't even know what to say to that." "Did she ask you first?" "Nah, not at all, I admit." "Isn't that illegal?" Bentley whispers. "Oh, it's super illegal," Orville insists. "She could have her license revoked for that. She should have her license revoked for that. Do you think she's doing stuff like that to us?" Bentley asks. "I got the impression it's just me," I comment, taking another bite. "You are really weirdly calm about this," Nora insists. I shrug, swallowing my stew. "So what? Do you want me to be hysterical?" "We talked about it already." I yelled at her for not asking me first. She spouted a bunch of philosophical shit at me, and I made her promise to tell me this stuff beforehand. "It's handled." "Doesn't it creep you the fuck out that she did that at all?" Orville asks. I shrug again. She had good points. She had good points. I sigh with irritation, picking the stew bowl up to my mouth and shoveling the rest of it in. I really don't want to talk about this. Vita, biomancers have to respect other people's bodies or they just end up inhuman, Orville insists. You should be concerned about this. It is kind of scary, Bentley mumbles. It's not right for Penelope to do that to you. I would just feel violated, you know? Nora agrees, mouth agape. I don't like the idea of someone going in and just turning my body into something else, something that might not be me. My body isn't me. I snap, thunking my ball back down on the table. It's mine, and I don't like that she messed with it without asking me. But do I care what she does to it? No. Not really. My body sucks, guys. It's tiny, and it's weak, and it looks way too young, and my face is all wrong, and I just do not give a fuck about it beyond the fact that I have to live in it. Penelope knows her shit. She certainly knows way more than I do about how anybody should look or why. If she wants to go and fuck around with how many moles my skin has, fine. I get up, grab my bowl, and walk off to drop it with the dirty dishes. No one says anything. Can we go get me some more clothes now? I ask when I get back. Yeah, Orville agrees, standing up but refusing to look directly at me. Let's go, Vita, I think I have some stuff we can jury-rig to fit you. It's going to be a bit big, but you can tie it in place. Whatever, I grumble. Everything is too big for me. Not long after I have some pants and a tunic, although to my mounting irritation I continue to have no weapons. Whatever. I've lived my whole life on the streets without a spear. I'm sure I'll be fine one day back without it. With how fucked up and bloody my face still looks, I doubt anyone will give me too much shit. And if they do, well, I'm always hungry. Chapter 66 Returning to the streets without armor on is both extremely familiar and extremely weird. I never noticed how comfortable I got with people fearing me. Fear is the right word for it, too. People in full expedition gear don't exactly frequent our part of town, and rarely do people wander around here as heavily armed as I do without being up to no good. Couple that with the fact that I'm less than 5 feet tall, and I'm like a glowing beacon that screams deadly talent here. People my size don't keep that kind of gear without being able to prove they can use it. Without gear, however, people my size just look like a free mark. Yes, it's entirely possible that any random schmuck can blow your head up with a talent, but the thought is if I had a talent like that, I wouldn't be here. A risk. Sure. But people are desperate enough in this part of town to take that gamble. My face may be an unwashed mess, but the clothes I borrowed from Orville are clean and devoid of holes. Not to mention I do actually have a bunch of money on me. If I'm stupid about where I go, I'm going to get attacked. Not that I plan on being stupid, of course. I descend into the bowels of my part of the city via a larger street, only duking into alleyways when I'm sure no one is watching. Eventually I make my way to the bread stand I like, nodding to a surprised shopkeep. "Hey, Duthus," I address him. Vida? Vida. It is you. Made it back alive, I see. The old man grins in proud defiance of his toothlessness, to which I grin back. He's a shriveled old fellow, and while his soul isn't at all powerful, it is certainly warm. Soft and green, smelling like grass in the sunlight. He is a kind soul, one I'm glad also happens to run the cheapest bread stall in the city. This and every time, I promise. Death would be inconvenient. He chuckles amicably, nodding and preparing my usual order without instruction. That it would, that it would. Not here with your boyfriend today, eh? I tilt my head, having to think about that one. Do you mean Orville? He's not my boyfriend. Of course, of course. Duthus laughs. Well, I'm surprised to see you out of your armor for a change. Your new outfit is lovely. Thanks, I guess. It's Orville's. He stops baking for a moment, staring up at me. I stare back. An awkward silence passes between us as his soul pulses with amusement. Without a word, he soon returns to his work with a grin on his face that he's clearly trying and failing to repress. My face falls into a scowl. I don't get this apparent joke and I'm too tired to ask. I just wait in silence for the bread to finish, grabbing it all before I head to a nearby veggie vendor. You be careful howling all that, Vida, Duthus calls after me. Don't get hurt now. I shrug, about the furthest thing from worried. If anything, he should be worried about anyone trying to mug me. I buy some tiny, slightly squishy and sad-looking vegetables before cutting away into an alley, heading home. I'll absolutely get mugged if anyone sees me unarmed with all this food, so I take a circuitous route there, avoiding human contact. Frankly, I probably would have done the same even if I had armor. I'm not exactly in a social mood today. After about an hour of meandering, my home finally hits the edge of my senses, the dozen hungry kids I call my siblings popping into the range of my soul sense. As do a half-dozen other people. I worm my senses deeper into one of my sisters, I think. The little black soul pulses, still growing its form and color like most children I sense. I focus, trying to get a read on her emotions. Concern. Fear. Resignation. Anger. Pain. Gritting my teeth, I pick up the pace, going from a meandering walk to a full-blown sprint towards home. Who the fuck dares to mess with my family? The 6 souls I don't recognize are all stronger than the kids, of course, but compared to me they're weaklings. Barely even snacks. Do these shit-stains seriously think they can get away with this? I hear the stupid bastards before I can see them. Come on, brats. You know the drill. Money. Where is it? We don't have any today. One of my brothers protests. And mom or dad will be back soon, so you'd better. A sharp smacking sound cuts off his voice as I round the corner, fury and death on my face as I watch the aftermath of Yarod getting backhanded across the face. All but the youngest kids are out in front of the shack, as if to bar entry. Though the assailants have their back to me, they turn to face my direction as I run into view. Don't you fucking touch them again, I command. 5 of the 6 are men, or perhaps more accurately they're male. 2 of them are just boys, barely 13 or 14, though they loom just as aggressively over my family as the adults leading them. One of the younger one's eyes just about bulge out of his head when he spots me. Do I know him from somewhere? Oh, hey, free food. Thanks for fetching that for us, little miss, one of the pathetic degenerates sneers. Bring it right over here, will you? I certainly start to approach, but I have no intention of giving them a single crumb. Big sis. A little one cheers. She's the one I gave a piggyback to the other day, I think. Angelian. The girl has no visible wounds, but I can tell she's in significant pain. These bastards know to only bruise below the collarbone, to let the kids hide the evidence. They know to scare children enough to make them do just that, to hide from the people that should be helping them. Some of the kids look at me with fear, with guilt. As if getting their asses kicked, getting stolen from by these lowlifes, was their fault. Alright, hand it over, another one of the assholes orders. I walk right next to him, glaring upwards. You can fuck off or die, I promise. A shocked silence settles over the little nook that passes for our street. Even most of my own siblings are looking at me with surprise, nowhere near as happy as Angelian seems to be. They're scared for me. They think I've set myself up for a beating. They know vaguely that I'm a hunter, but they've never seen me fight. Most of them have never seen me mad, either. Stupid bitch, I said, hand it over. He raises a hand to slap me, but my tendrils are already wrapping around his soul. Terror crawls onto his face in an instant, my spiritual arms squirming and squeezing. Disgusting filth. I don't even want to touch him. Go on, I hiss, taking a step forward. I'm not going to give you a damn thing. So hit me. He backs away, towards his group. All eyes are on me now. I step after him, squeezing his soul harder. I've had a very, very bad month, I tell them. I was already in a fucking shit mood before working in on this. So try it. Hit me. Steal from me. See what happens. That's her, the boy that was staring at me earlier whispers. She's Vida. She took my dad away. I glance at him again. Oh, that's right. I do know him. Greg's son. Wow, that feels like a lifetime ago. The kid's words seem to spur a bit more life into the confused thugs, all but the one I'm squeezing quickly recovering their bravado. This is her. The woman of the group asks. This is the tramp that put you and your mom on the streets? Of course. Isn't this just typical? The group moves to surround me, my blood boiling. Is this my fault? I really want to kill them, but I know I shouldn't. I don't have a ton of non-lethal options, though. I might be able to out-fist fight them, but I doubt it, especially if any of them have a knife. Maybe I can spook them all with soul grabs. Yeah, that might work. It really seems to freak people out. I just need to get them all in range at once. Let them surround me, let them get close. Leave her alone. Angelian screams, running at the gang as they close in on me. The tiny girl pulls out a shive, scraped together from wood, twine, and a broken coin. Sharp, chitin-tipped. Deadly if she hits just the right spot. A bunch of the other kids did the same, pulling out hidden weapons and approaching alongside her. I can't help but feel my spirits lift a little. The kids are proper street rats. They haven't been sitting here and taking it. They didn't hide their bruises out of fear, they hid them because they wanted to fuck these assholes up themselves. Still though, I don't want to see them get hurt. Guys, I'm fine. I insist. I got this. Backo, Greg's son steps towards Angelian, smacking her in the side of the head with a kick that sends her sprawling to the dirt. Her neck twisted a terrible angle, a snapping sound ringing behind the dull thud of the impact. I watch in horror as her soul floats up from her body. All 6 of my family's assailants fall dead to the ground, their souls in my arms. Hide downstairs, I order the kids, dropping the food I'd brought. But, go, I snap, and they all scurry to obey. Except Angelian. I eat 4 of the bastard's souls. They don't deserve anything better. 2 others I put shards in, raising them as my revenants. I make sure Grig's son is one of them. I want him to hurt. The whole family is rotten. Take these bodies to the sewers, I order. Don't let anyone see you. Hide them in an outflow channel by the walls, then walk in with them and kill yourselves. What? Grig's little monster whispers, confusion and horror warring on his face. You heard me, murderer, I snarl. Follow my orders or I'll send you home with worse ones. The terrified revenants hop to the task, taking 2 bodies each. Carefully, delicately, I kneel down by Angelian's body, scooping up her soul and holding it safe. In a kind of desperate madness, I check her body, confirming what I already know. No pulse. No breathing. Dead. She's dead from a single kick. Killed by a child with a dangerous talent. It could happen to anybody. Grig's kid had inhuman strength, just like Daddy, and when I killed the man, I put his son on the street. The kid joined a gang. I found him roving around with adults despite being half their age. Of course he had a damn talent. His soul was so weak, but I should have known he would be fucking dangerous. They underestimated me and died for it. I underestimated them, and Angelian fucking died for it. My sister. She'd be mad at me if I left the food here. I collected off the ground, taking it inside and tossing it down the trapdoor to the other kids. Vita. One of them calls up. Fuck, but I can't even remember his name. Is Angelian? Sorry, I mumble back. Just stay here until Lynn and Rowan come home. Okay? It never should have come to this. I should have killed them all the moment I saw them. I lift Angelian up in my arms, holding her close. Still warm. Her knife drops from her tiny hand, so I reach down and grab that too. My sister's soul is inside me. Dead does not mean gone. I'll bring her back. None of these thoughts stop the tears. They well up from my face, dripping down on a dead girl's body. I find myself surprised that I care this much, then disgusted that such a thing would be a surprise. But it is, isn't it? I barely even knew her name. Tobe continued. Thanks for listening.